What's up, everyone? Mr. Totem back again, giving you a little bit of a brief recap of where I've been for like the last week. Well, those who have been on my Instagram and have been watching has kind of saw that I went on a little trip with my son, my oldest son. He goes by the name B-Boy Strike, and we went to Las Vegas. And we went to Las Vegas for the Under the Wings program from Red Bull. And Red Bull, as a great company as it is, really extends its support to young B-boys and B-girls to essentially level up their game. You know, like sometimes what I feel like the graph world needs, and maybe some of my videos help for that. But, you know, they are a great company that is actually putting their money where their mouth is. And my son was selected for that program, thanks to my homeboy Lean Rock from Squadron, that really help get my son in front of them and get selected, and my boy Deshaun Kennedy. So what did we do? Well, we went to Vegas for two reasons. Of course, the program, the Under the Wings program, but also for my homeboy Ronnie of Full Force's 30-year Full Force anniversary jam. You know, I don't go out west much. Las Vegas, to me, feels almost like the anti-Seattle. It's very dry, very flat, and as similar to Seattle, filled with Filipinos, except this time they're not wet. So anyways, yeah, so what happened was, when we first got there, the first thing that needed to happen was my son was selected, was asked essentially by the homeboys from the Squadron crew, okay? Maybe per Lean Rock's suggestion, but I think both Rock's Right and Luigi wanted to do something with Strike, my son Reza, and they offered him to go and battle with them. And that's exactly what he did. He said, all right, let me go ahead and see if we can enter a battle together, and maybe he can deliver. Now, the thing is about my son is he doesn't have to get ready, because he always stays ready. Because here at Black Cloud, at the Burn Unit headquarters, we have something called church, and church is that we practice on a regular basis, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And, you know, we make sure that the practice schedule is a regular thing. It's been like that for 20 plus years, literally 25 years and going on more. And so my son was ready. He was ready to get down, was ready to throw down. And when they thought to ask for him to do that, he felt no pressure for it. So that was a really good thing. So when we went, the first day was just a chill day. And then the second day was the actual battle, okay? When we first got there, the actual event location was a hotel casino type of vibe. You know, I don't think it was an actual casino, but it was like one of those hotels that seems like it should be a casino too at the same time, because everything in Las Vegas is a casino. And he was able to just walk right in and go right to battle, right? So when he got there, we started with the basic ciphers, and his auntie came with him. My homegirl came with us, Miss B-Girl Vendetta, aka the Iron Maiden. So she's a legendary B-Girl herself and has been with my crew 20 plus years. And they basically just rocked the ciphers for a little while, warmed up, and then when it came time for battle, he was ready, jumped right in. And when it started, at first it seemed like maybe he might be, you know, a bit apprehensive, maybe nervous and stuff like that, but it was not the case at all. And also for Roxrite and Luigi, they at first maybe seemed like, you know, we don't know this kid well. You know, he's not down with Squadron. You know, and also from the beginning, it was not proposed. He was not proposed to be down with Squadron. They just said, all right, let's just try, because that he was a selected person for the Under the Wings program. Let's go ahead and give him a chance and see, you know, what he's made of right out the gate, kind of jumping in the deep end, if you will, with a full-on battle and battle with us. So that's what ended up happening. The first battle, they seemed a bit apprehensive because they don't know my son well. They heard he was good. They've seen him break a few times, and he hasn't won anything significantly or anything like that. But I think he's already shown a little bit out there that some people have heard about. But he's kind of remained what some of these youngsters have told me. They called him the dark horse. I don't know what that means, but apparently it means that he's underground and is making a bit of a name for himself there. But I'm not aware of that terminology. So dark horse he was, and into battle he went. So the first battle, they seemed apprehensive, Roxrite and Luigi, but as my son did his first round, he proved fairly quickly that you got nothing to worry about, man. You got nothing to worry about. So they felt very, very comfortable after that to let the fist fly, if you will. And when he started to throw down, when he started to do his thing, it turned out that they really saw that, hey, we could probably win this, man. We might be able to win this. So they started to go in. My son felt zero pressure. He turned to me. I was right behind them the whole time, most of the time, and he was saying to me like, I'm not this. I got this, Dad. I got this. So they would turn to me too and be like, shoo, we finna win this. So in the middle of the thing, they started really wrecking shop. Then finally they had beat their way all the way up to the finals. When the finals had happened, Joe Coy, who was a special guest, stepped forward and said, you know what? I'm going to offer to put $2,000 more on the $3,000 purse for the winner.
On the grand prize. What's the grand prize?
We got $3,000.
I'm adding $2 more to it.
$5,000.
So let's see who could really get it. So that really, really turned it up for them. They felt, oh man, I need to show. I want that 5K. So that's exactly what happened. They went into battle mode, serious battle mode, and it was incredible to watch. I was absolutely glued to what was going to happen. And then when the battle started going, my son was absolutely in the pocket. Roxrite, they call him the general. And you know, after all these years, I've been seeing him. We've known each other for years, and I really realized that he earned that name. So the general essentially got to leading, and that was really, really dope to watch him do that, because he basically kept Luigi and Strike kind of in the pocket, if you will. So he went in and he did his signature stacking of freezes and stuff like that, and he killed it with that. A lot of those, they're literally his heavy signatures. And he hit them, and he stuck them as hard as he always did. So that was incredibly dope. And then my son went in, and when my son went in, he came with his signature moves that people haven't seen before. He did his sliding radar to flare to air flare. His Munch Mill Monster Halo, like he did a bunch of his like signatures himself, and those things like that hit really, really hard because a lot of people don't know my son's move set. Everyone knows Luigi's and Roxright's move sets, but they don't know my son's. That's why they called him the Dark Horse, because literally they weren't expecting anything from him because they don't know what he would do. And he essentially delivered in his end of the battle. Then Luigi went in there and got ultra busy because homie Luigi is a killer on the floor, a veteran, you know, just everything that a true b-boy should be. And he went out there and gave it the for show. He gave it all that style, and he just literally dumped it on top of these dudes. Now, much respect to the other team, the Maya boys, Mace Maya, Weapon X, and the other kid that was in the program too, Kid Break. You know, they're great folks, and you know they gave a hell of a battle against my son and his partners, but unfortunately they didn't win. You know, but the best people won for the jam this time. And the cool thing is that Joe Coy put more money. He put an extra 1,000 on the second place. So nobody went home empty-handed. So it was really, really awesome that Joe did that. And I actually got with him and commended that to him. I told him, I was like, man, you really are a dude that has always been in the scene. I mean, when I did Lords of the Floor in like 2002 or something like that, I think that was, or the second one, whatever, but, or 2003. And he literally was always there. Like he was, you know, either like a commentator or like, you know, a host or whatever, but he's been there and he's of the cloth. And man, I had to tell him, like, you know, from my own mouth, like, dude, you're a real one, man. You're a real one. So he decided to take my phone and said, man, let's take a picture. And he took my phone and he took the photo of him and I, and we both looking sweaty and like old men. We enjoyed our time at this B-Boy Jam. So congratulations to the Full Force people for their 30 years anniversary jam. We were very happy to have been there. We were very happy to have wrecked shop there. But it was very important for my son to prove himself. So after that jam, after the jam, now we moved on to the actual program, the Under the Wings, the Red Bull Under the Wings program, and that's wings with 3 eyes for whatever reason, I guess. And for the Under the Wings program, my son, Kid Break, B-Girl Novi, and B-Girl Nikki, they basically got the chance to be mentored by some of the illest legends that you could possibly want as a b-boy. And your boy, Mr. Totem himself, yours truly, was also one of the teachers too. And I'll get to that in a little bit. So up first, my son and his compadres went and learned under the great Mr. Wiggles. Okay, Rocksteady Crew, Mr. Wiggles, the man himself. He literally taught the kids a top rock type of course, and the understanding of catching on the beat. And a good portion of this program they learn under using a metronome, which is basically a timing tool for musicians. Like tick tick, you've probably seen those things where it go like this: tick 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 tick, and that's a metronome. So the kids started really practicing being on beat, which a lot of people out there just ain't on beat. It looked crazy. And some of y'all need to really get with some of these metronome tricks. I don't know if that's helping or not, but man, folks be off beat. You know, look like you're dancing with 3 left feet. All right, so the kids learned how to do that. They learned mad style with that. Mr. Wiggles delivered on that one. Then after that, it moved on to my homeboy, Mr. Ken Swift. There's some people call him Prince Ken Swift. That's like his old stage name, stuff like that, Jam on the Groove. He basically gave them the intro from top rock going down into footwork, going through the entrance of delivering the groundwork and stuff like that. Now, Kenny is definitely the elder statesman, and both him and Mr. Wiggles, you know, were having a little bit of difficulty because of their age with the with doing a lot of footwork. So they had help. They had a lot of great assistance to help them, explain some of these footwork moves and stuff like that. And one of the assistants was Luigi. Luigi helped Kenny explain some of these particular footwork details that literally made the kids sweat. It really put the moves up in them. So they really got to learn from some of the best. It was great. And after that, they did a number of different exercises and stuff like that, where they had to learn under the great Hong Ten. So they learned from Hong Ten, and they learned a bunch of different type of freeze variations and stuff like that. Also with Roxrite. So Hong Ten, Roxrite, Luigi, they were over there learning beat catching on stacking freezes and stuff like that. That was incredible. Then they went to power moves. The intro of power moves and different types of variant power moves they could do, and they learned from some greats from there. One of the greats was B-Boy Ivan. They call him the urban action figure, and he sure enough is, man. That guy is an action figure. So Ivan was one of the teachers, but moreover, another high-quality name in the power realm is B-Boy Ruin. B-Boy Ruin was one of the teachers with that too, and gave them a different perspective of ways you could do power with style, like stylish power, not just straight up, oh, I'm gonna do windmills and flares and air flares and stuff like that, because he's a king of the evolution of the air flare, and he had a lot to show the boys, and they benefited greatly from that, and the girls did. So that was the power realm. And finally, when the whole thing was finished, they had let the kids battle each other. The boys battled each other. Kid Break battled my son Strike, and Nikki battled Novi. And I wasn't there for that particular section because me and Mr. Wiggles went and got coffee. I'll be honest, I just didn't want to watch my son battle Kid Break, because he already did. When it really mattered, it was on the dance floor at the finals at the Full Force anniversary jam. So he did that already. I saw that, and we know how that went. And the whole point was that they got the wisdom from those greats and was able to utilize it right after the things that they had learned, right after the lessons. So to close it out, they were really, really tired, and finally the last bit was actually a graffiti lesson. All right, so here's where things get a bit strange for me. All right. The graffiti was taught by me and Mr. Wiggles. Those who know, Mr. Wiggles is also not just a veteran of dance, he's also a veteran of graph. Very much so, even to the point that even my big homies knew him as one of the earliest graffiti painters in the world of New York graffiti, right? Now, Wiggs, his graffiti name is Rek, R-E-K, all right? So I explained, well, let me preface this, right? So I don't teach graffiti, okay? I don't teach graffiti. It's not normally something that I do. My reasoning for why I don't teach graffiti is mainly because I believe graffiti is vandalism. I believe that to be a good graffiti writer, you have to go do vandalism. Your boy still keeps the rules in his playbook. You know, I may not be the one out there thirsting and showing everybody all this stuff I do, but I keep it sure that that I participate. And well, why is that significant? Well, when it comes to teaching people, okay, I'm a father. I'm a father in a figurative and a literal sense. If you come to me asking to learn how to do something that is extremely important, that you don't forget the responsibility of what you teach, then that you're leading that person to a hell of a sort, okay? I'm not interested in doing that. I'm not interested in showing you stuff that's going to get you locked up unless I'm with you, okay? Or I'm literally there, okay? I'm not going to teach you how to steal or how to do these kind of things like that without taking responsibility myself. So that's why you don't see me put out these, you know, these graph hacks with these retards out here doing that stuff like that. That's not what I'm about, okay? So what exactly am I talking about? So when I teach a class, if I teach a class, I don't profess it to be graffiti. I'll talk about graffiti. You know, and I also diverted to Mr. Wiggles to kind of preface to them that, like, and he agreed with me that, look, we did the work in the streets so you didn't have to, okay? We did the things that you ain't supposed to do just to bring you the art so you don't have to actually risk it, okay? They're B-boys and B-girls. I don't need them to do it. I need them to understand the value of it in its setting in hip-hop, okay? Even though I don't necessarily believe that graffiti needed hip-hop or hip-hop really needed graffiti. That's just how I feel. That's personal, all right? So well, how did I approach it? Well, my approach was like this. I'm going to teach how to write your name straight, okay? Now, I was a sign painter when I was young, when I was real young, 14 years old at a local grocery store. I would write $1.99 potatoes, you know, $1.99 a pound potatoes or something like that. And I would write it on these things called a starburst. And the way of the writing was very stylized, very straight, very readable, but stylized in a sense, and it looked similar to a regular tag in some respect. I wanted to see if I could get the kids to write that way. So that's what I showed them. It's basically understanding writing script. And I mean script as in bold-faced font letters of readable handwriting. You know what I'm saying? Similar to technical drafting. You'd see it in like schematics and blueprints. That's the way I showed them how to write. I didn't explain to them, hey, you're going to go out there and write this on the street or whatever. It's basically, this is what you need to know before you can even write anything, right? And maybe I'm kind of giving a lesson right now. Before you can make a tag and before you can do all that, you got to be able to write your name straight. You see, this ability to write your name straight across like that, like straight. So straight across. So right then and there, I was basically setting it up for Wiggs to kind of give them more stylized letters. But during the process of explaining to write your name straight, I executed my my vintage way of doing sign painting, sign writing when I was a kid, and showed them, and they got a real kick out of it, because I would write $1.99 potatoes, and I'll flash that on a screen, and you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. And everybody kind of like chuckled about it, because it's literally something that's you know, it's not graffiti writing, but it's very, very similar. It's I mean, if anything, like, you could use that for a multitude of different arts and stuff like that. So I didn't have to worry about them going into the graffiti world. I feel like that's a very precarious thing like that. So I pulled back from that. But it helped Wiggs set up the idea of style, explaining style. And during the time when we had first sat there and let the kids do the program, I was sitting back at the table waiting and watching and stuff like that, and Wiggs gave me his black book. Now, Mr. Wiggles' black book was no joke. That black book had some really, really nice burners in it that he did himself. And the burners in there, that told me, like, all right, this is a perfect instance for me to do my body style. My body style is where I make my letters out of, you know, people, but it really started out as the same kind of idea of how b-boying is, the making the body, the human body shape beautiful by making these different, you know, almost like a kaleidoscope with your body, right? And so I decided to do my body style in his black book, because, man, if anybody, those who have seen Mr. Wiggles' black book, or are going to do a piece in Mr. Wiggles' black book, if you're lucky, you ain't gonna come behind me without getting smoked. So guess what? There's some fire up in that mug. So I decided to put my body style. It was very apropos. And the good thing was, after I had done that, it was perfect for the actual conversation that Wiggs started to have. So I was able to essentially wingman him, because during the part when he was explaining how to add style to letters, I was able to do the hold up the black book and show the style that I do, to show that more my letters go like this and how my body shapes, stuff like that. And that was really fresh. And I don't know if the kids got it or not, but it seemed like they kind of did. But I did the parallels, explained to them the parallels of how b-boying actually is literally DNA connected to graffiti in a sense.
Version of what we see as graffiti writers when we look at letters. When we see a dope breaker make a fresh move or a freeze, what we're literally seeing is like this. A stylistic person, the way you see a silhouette is how we see the letters and how it's alive. If you can understand that, you know what style is. If you don't, you might want to try it. Look, you know what I'm saying? You might try to look. Got it. And you got a fly boy up from here. I think of the earlier one up here. Boom. How about this? Bang! Hit it with some color.
Because we basically are making shapes beautiful, not sounds, not performance, but actual like shapes on beat. So yeah, that's how that one went. And that essentially was the last bit of the Red Bull Under the Wings program. I was able to really spend some time with a lot of the people, with my son, and really make a good connection to the participants, but also to like the legends. You know, the little thing is that, you know, these legends that were there, I've known them for 20 years, because when I was a contender in the b-boy world, you know, a good portion of these people were friends of mine. And I was able to develop a relationship. It wasn't like, oh, I just met them right there. Like, I've known these people since like the 90s and stuff like that, you know. My homeboy Cross One was there, and, you know, I remember us just talking on the pier of Rocksteady Anniversary in like 97 or 96 or something like that, you know, like, so, you know, let alone Kenny, let alone, you know, you name it, all of them in some capacity, right? Ivan and stuff like that, you know. So it was really cool to really catch up with my old friends. But what's really special to me was they got to really see the rise of my son, B-Boy Strike, out there going to go for his. Out there in the b-boy world that they still participate in. Now, I am essentially an outsider, being that I chosen to be a vandal and not a b-boy. You know, many people have heard from me like I'm not a b-boy. I'm a graffiti writer that breaks. Okay, I love b-boying. I still b-boy, but I've already chosen my path, which is the letter. Okay, and that's where I'll always stay. So essentially, we took the W, y'all. You know, me and my son, like, this was a incredible experience for both me and my son. They put him in Squadron. They, you know, announced it out there on their Instagram. Our newest member, Young Strike from ATL, down with Squadron, and we were absolutely shocked and pleasantly surprised. So my son feels very, very excited about how that worked out, because B-Boy El Nino has been my homeboy for since he was 7, and you know, Lino and all them, they've been my homeboys forever. So it was very, very beautiful for my son to be accepted into the pantheon with them. You know what I'm saying? Because those is really the top of the heap. So that's literally what my trip ended up being. We packed it all up. We decided to head back to ATL, and we went back with a whole lot more of a new zeal, of excitement, and my son is getting ready for the next one. Now, that's it. So yeah, hopefully you guys liked my breakdown. It's literally like a story of my life, a little snippet of what's been going on, and my son's trajectory on where he's going with b-boying, and you guys got to check it out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for all my fathers out there who have been following me just to see what exactly it takes to support your kid doing the things that you love doing. Because if you're a good father, you're going to take the time to teach your child the things that make your life wonderful. You know, whether it be hip hop, or I don't care if it's rock and roll. I don't care if it's, you know, all the things that make those particular genres gripping for you. Those kind of things really help you be a better father. For me as a father, hip hop has given me the strength, you know, second to God, has given me strength to give my son something as beautiful as the art of b-boying and graffiti, as a self-expression tool that will help them define themselves. And, you know, it was a defining thing for me. It was a quintessential tool for me to help me go through this dark world that we all live in. It's really like a lantern in the dark, and that's the great thing about the positivity of hip hop and the positivity of breaking. So my son was able to see what his father used to do and still does so heavily, and to find out who he is. You know, instead of just being, you know, some kid that's out there playing baseball or whatever, like, he's become a b-boy Strike, and now people are aware of him in a world space just because of these moments like this. Take the time out for your kids, y'all. You know what I'm saying? All my graffiti fathers and my b-boy fathers out there who are paying attention to this. Take the time out for your kids, share it with them, support them. And I'm not talking about support them, just be there like, yes, everything you do is good. I'm talking about like when they fall, help them get the skills to stand back up. Help them, you know, be like a coach to them. You see what I'm saying? Cheer for them, but also when they don't do right, help them get back in the pocket. And this is some of the things that I want you guys to understand about me and my relationship with my sons, because the results are going to speak for themselves. I'm still in the war right now. I'm still in the space of trying to teach my son and keep him away from stupid stuff that probably you have gotten into, the same as me. And hopefully you'll be there to see some more of those outcomes, and hopefully every single one of them is going to be positive. I'm going to fight for them to be positive. Maybe you can take a few notes, and if you like it, you know what I'm saying? You know you at the right place if you're over here checking me out on YouTube. You know, it's the only place I can put out these love letters for y'all to, it's a message in the bottle, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So check back for more. You know, hopefully I didn't talk y'all's ear off. You know I got love for y'all. You know, Mr. Totem signing out. All right? Peace out.